No, you're not going crazy. I am going to attempt to review Undead Unluck's manga. Honestly, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I was doing a few things, didn't have enough time, but also I wasn't sure if Shueisha would end up hitting me with copyright strikes. But my last Undead Unluck video that came out half a year ago has been decent, and I do want to talk about this series because, my god, does no one talk about Undead Unluck as much as it should, because it is a very good series. It is probably one of Weekly Shonen Jump's best manga ongoing right now, and the series just keeps getting better, with this week's chapter being incredibly good. But before we jump into things, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. Before we jump square into things, let's do a brief recap of the current standings in the manga. So let's get started with chapter 230 of Undead Unluck, titled Undead Unjustice, with Julia using the powers of the soul to enter Andy's mind to try and access their memories. Accessing Victor's soul, she tries to go deeper and deeper to the very depths, as the memories keep getting more and more clearer, as she can see every instance from all the previous loops of Jules and Victor in their quests with the Union, their downtime, their fun memories, the hard times, the battles, everything. And Julia states that despite all of that, Victor still at the end of the day decided to kill Jules, which was, he thought, for her own good, to keep her from looping and suffering for centuries on end. Until now, Julia gets to probably one of the earliest memories of the two of them at the round table, meeting Luna for the very first time, as she tells Jules that she has become a vessel. She was chosen to become vessels, as this is essentially the origin of negators in this world. As Luna states that the fifth rule, who will later become a master rule, justice, found Jules to be the vessel of justice. As Luna says that in several hours the world will end up being destroyed, and the new world, the second game, will begin. So the origin of negators is essentially right at the square end of the very first Earth that was created by Sun and Luna, and thus now the second loop is about to start. And this is when the two of them became the very first negators on Earth. And so Luna goes on to explain, if one of you sits in the first seat at the round table, then you will go directly to a habitable era in the world to come, as Victor ends up just laughing, congratulating Jules that it's just like she said, even if you die, you can be reborn. As they're like, oh, this is really cool, this is great, we get to see each other again. As Julia is kind of looking on in a bit of sadness, while Luna tells them in this flashback, only one of them will be able to keep their body and memories. The other one is gonna die. But Victor says, yeah, I don't mind being the one dying, saying to Jules that he'll be the one to find her after the warp. After all this one can't do anything on her own, as Jules just says that she can handle anything on her own so long as, Victor is around. Contradicting the statement, but it shows how close these two were even as kids. And basically being told that the world is ending and only one of you is seemingly going to survive this. But that's pretty interesting to go for. But I like how Victor, with full confidence, ends up stating, that's why I'm gonna become undead and come pick you up. As even he doesn't understand, wait, why did that come into my mouth just now? As the words for undead appeared, as Luna states, it seems you've both been selected and they've manifested. Undead and Unjustice, stating that she'll see them again in 4.4 billion years. So this is when not only Jules became Unjustice and became the vessel for the rule of justice, but Victor, in his conviction to see her again, ended up becoming the vessel for death, becoming undead. So the origin of this is just pretty wholesome if you think about it, and also kind of tragic to the extent of the circumstances going into this. But as this memory fades away, Julia continues to walk through Victor's memories, through the soul, as she begins to hear and see moments from Victor's life with Jules, stating, Undead and Unjustice, will this be enough to beat those monsters? Let's gather allies, build a team then. How about we call ourselves the Union? Because Un is in the name, is in it, which honestly is a kind of dumb and dorky reason to name their whole secret organization this, but guess it goes to show just how innocent of a character Jules was as a kid, then growing up into the capable leader that she ended up being. As we keep going through more of these memories with all the hardships they go into, with Victor slowly seeing how much this is putting on her and all the stress that she's going under, the suffering she's going under, and wanting to end it. But with Victor losing his resolve and confidence to save the world, Jules keeps trying over and over again, not losing hope that they can in fact save the world, and that next time for sure she'll be able to create a union that will be able to take out Sun and stop Ragnarok. As we keep seeing moments from their lives, Julia ends up stating that when the world changes, people change with it. That includes their looks and their values. Regardless, these two resisted, accepted, and lived on. As one of the last moments from these memories was of Victor getting, remember, stuck in his forehead by Jews to kind of temper off his memories and block him and seal him, thus creating the persona of Andy, which is all tragic. We all know more about these two characters, and it's honestly incredibly sad to see where their story started and where it seemingly ended. But with Julia walking down through their memories to the more current ones, I see a bit more of a hopeful side. Julia states that one fought for his sake, one fought for her sake. They both fought for the sake of the other. As she states, you, me, and our allies helped weave this story together. So let's give it a happy ending, Victor. As we see a younger Victor from earlier when they were all kids, as he states, man, talk about pathetic. I said I'd pick you up, not the other way around. As Victor gets up stating, so you wound up finding me, eh, partner? As Drew laughs, saying, yeah. Victor says, let's hurry. I'm starting to vanish due to Death's ability. As the two of them grab each other's hands, Julia says, oh, reminds me, Unjustice still hasn't manifested, but Victor says, don't worry, as he returns to his original age, stating, don't worry, tragedies are all about perspective. As the two of them leave the world of memories of his soul, with Master Rule's soul seemingly getting ready to end them after blasting Ichiko out of the way from keeping him chained up. He points his blast straight at them, stating, this is the end. He hears something that surprises him. Victor says, ah, shoot. If you hadn't stopped that attack, I would have finally been able to die. So it's Unjustice's fault I got alive again, eh? I'd say this is a tragedy, wouldn't you? As Victor is regenerating right now to take on his original form. Victor says, it's been a while, Soul. I'm really glad that you were the first Master Rule. Victor then hits Soul with an undead road, saying while holding Julia, it's because of you that we're connected through our souls. Let's put an end to this, to everything, as Undead and Unjustice have reunited to take on the Master Rule Soul. And man, in this 2-page spread looks really awesome. I love the two of them together right now. And also it's just kind of fun to see Soul just being absolutely livid with this situation. Because now the two trickiest abilities and users are together again. So I'm excited to see how this fight's gonna turn out. But that's the end of the chapter. Honestly, Undead Unluck has just been a real roller coaster these last couple of years ever since we had the first Ragnarok arc. And while we all had that bit of a jump scare, us thinking that Undead Unluck was rushing towards its conclusion with all the Master Rules joining back up with Sun, now that things have been fully settled, I'm excited to see how all these matchups are going to end up being, because these all look incredibly interesting, and I look forward to see all these characters fight all out to take out the Master Rule. And despite Julia not fully being Jules, the fact that she is still relatively her at the end of the day, and the connection that she has with Victor is still there despite everything that happened, the loop, the death, everything. It just hits you in the feels, especially seeing their origins and how they created the Union and became the first negators on the planet. That is just something interesting. Also, this flashback at the end seems to imply that the Master Rules themselves, after becoming Master Rules or just rules in general, can potentially pick people to be the first negators of their rules to be their vessel, from what I can gather. And thus, based off of how souls work, that is how future negators end up being chosen by the previous users of these abilities. That's what I'm getting off from this. But still, now with all the hardship out of the way, everything that's gone on, and Unjustice essentially seemingly manifested, we now have the original founders of the Union, the first negators, reunited to take on the very first rule of the world. And I can't wait to see this fight happen and all the subsequent fights against the Master Rule. But what do you guys think of this chapter? Let me know in the comment section down below. And how do you feel about everything we've learned here today? And if you want to see more Undead Unluck reviews, let me know. I'm going to try and do these a lot more frequently because I just love this manga so damn much. And once more, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. All that said and done, I hope you all have an awesome day.